Fix old cameras. Your successful completion of the demonstrated repair ultimately depends on the quality of your tools, the condition of your camera, and most importantly, your repair ability.
Another jammed wine lever on a Yashica Mat 124G. Begin by removing the wine crank pin. Punch the pin out far enough that you can grasp it with the pliers or side cutters. Set aside all wine crank parts and remove the strap bracket. With the strap lug bracket removed, the leatherette can be removed. That's a mouthful. We'll move on to the 4 screws holding the side plate, and with those removed, we will remove the side plate, revealing the mechanism. What jammed the camera is the film spacing catch pawls. They are not moving freely, and they're not clearing the position as they should. So they probably can be just lubricated in this case. If they were really sticky, they probably would need to be removed, and then the shaft and the bushings need to be cleaned and then lubricated. Lubricate with a light shutter oil, a light sewing machine oil, or even a light synthetic oil at the points of pivot. Again, if they're fairly stiff, they'll need to be removed and cleaned. But in this particular case, just oiling should do the trick. Once you've confirmed that the levers are moving freely and that the mechanism is working without jamming up, then, of course, we can put it back together. So the levers seem to be functioning as they should be. The side plate can be installed. Lay it in place and put in the screws. 4 steel countersunk cross-point screws are handled easily with a magnetic screwdriver. Put the leatherette over the side panel. If it has enough stickum on them, then it can just be stuck down. If there's no curling on the leatherette, you can use a permanent adhesive variety of an office glue stick. If the leatherette is curling, then Pliabond adhesive will need to be used. Okay, with the leatherette firmly and smoothly in place, we can install the strap lug bracket. Make sure you catch the hinge pin post on the film door as you install the bracket. Next, the wine crank center hubcap, and then the wine crank spacer washer, curved side down, then, or curved side up, I guess, however you want to look at it, and then the cover spacer, and then the wine crank. The wine crank cover spacer needs to be positioned properly so that when the wine crank is folded, that the little post tab is sticking up across from the wind crank. Okay, so now we can put the post in. No, not the post, the pin. The pin in the wine crank post. Once it's installed, squeeze it in place with a pair of properly spaced channel locks, and then you're set. Give it a test here. See how it acts. Make sure the door opens and hinges properly. We set the counter by opening the door. Okay, it resets. Couldn't really see it, but it did reset. And finally, we'll give it a crank. Up to start, past start, up to 1, it stops. Folds down properly. There you go, counter's on 1. Fire it once. Crank it again. Fire it. Looks good. What do you know? Still working. All the way to the end. Let's see, once we get past the last frame, it should spin around and so that you wind the film up onto the spool. Approaching the end. 10. And finally 11. Ho hum. There it is. 12. Okay. Release it. And there we go. That's how it should work. Perfect. Yashica Mat 124G.
Thank you for watching. Inspired? Check back for new video postings.